What's up, team? This is Frank, and this is SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamech. A simple expedition to collect mushrooms keeps getting more and more complicated as Armely and Copernica uncover deep and sinister mysteries while accruing a motley crew of allies to fight some common foes. The game takes a lighthearted and often comical approach to dialogue while also maintaining a weighty feel as you discover and dispatch various evils in this land. The basic idea of the game goes like this. Travel along the mostly straightforward environments which are segmented into blocks. Search enough and you'll find a good amount of secret levers and corridors with treasures. You can see enemies roaming on the map, and if you manage to attack them before they touch you, they will begin battle with a slight reduction of health. When battle is joined, you will be assigned a random assortment of action cards. A few cards can be mulliganed each turn if you're looking for a specific combo, and cards can be divided into three categories: buffs, attacks, and special attacks. Using a buff or attack will increase your gear counter up here, which acts as your shared mana pool for your entire team. Accrue enough gears and you can cast a special attack. What's more is that the cards can be comboed in two ways. First, some cards have another hero's face on them. Play these cards after the indicated hero plays one of theirs, and your attack will be augmented. The second way is to play three cards from the same character, which will activate a fourth action that varies depending on the weapon you have equipped. You can only equip one weapon and two accessories, and many of these follow the standard RPG tropes. Other than the streamlined gameplay, what sets SteamWorld Quest apart is the card system. You can only field 8 cards per characters, and these can be collected from chests, game events, purchasing, or crafting, and you can even upgrade cards if you have the necessary materials. It's up to you to build a solid deck which complements your playstyle and active party choice. You start the game with only Armely and Copernica, but soon your friend Galio joins, as well as Auric and his sister-brother duo Tara and Thane later on. The game awards experience to those members you aren't using, but if they stay out of the action for too long, they will eventually lag behind by a level or two. Luckily, I found all party combinations to be viable given the versatility afforded by the deck building system. The game saves anytime you cross a map threshold, but health doesn't regen between battles unless you use items or find a save point which automatically fills your health while also resetting all the mobs on the map. This makes grinding levels really easy, and if you happen to die, the game will let you restart at the last save statue without resetting any of your experience, equipment, or deck changes thereafter. Pretty convenient. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamech. In the end, it's a lighthearted but well thought out and polished RPG. The game affords you a ton of conveniences, which I really appreciated, like you can skip cutscenes, and holding the right trigger on the gamepad will speed up the action whether you're running along the map or fighting in a battle. Scans are also free and can be done on everyone without using up your turn. And when you finish a chapter, the game will show you a percentage depicting how many secrets you found, and you can even revisit areas anytime to look for anything you missed. Oh, and although it's not a convenience, the game allows you to switch between world map avatars on the fly, which is a nice little detail to add and really speaks to the polish and love put into the game. The only things I didn't like were the inherent problems with an RNG-based card system, which sometimes leaves you with unusable hands and not enough mulligans. And a few times the game fell prey to the old RPG problem of needing a guide or to otherwise reset to prepare accordingly for an upcoming battle. This only really happened later on, like when I was using a physical attack build, which was doing just fine until I came across an enemy who can only be defeated by elemental attacks. But both of these problems are rather small in the grand scheme of things. Near the late game, you get access to an arena with unique debuffs applied to your team and increasingly challenging foes thrown at you in succession. And when you beat the game, you're awarded a new Game Plus mode, which allows you to keep all your cards and equipment and come back for a second kick at the can. You can even pair this with the newly unlocked Legend Remix difficulty, which boasts harder enemies as well as new cards and abilities. Lastly, you get access to an art gallery to see some cool concept art and a jukebox to listen to the game music. If you're looking for a polished game with pretty visuals which harbors both traditional and unique elements for an RPG while conveying an interesting and weighty story but somehow doesn't take itself too seriously, then you might want to pick this game up. If you hate RNG determining your available actions or turn-based battle RPGs that don't give you a true open world to explore at your own pace, then you might just pass. For my part, I had a really good time playing it. I really liked the visuals and appreciated how many of the strong and lead characters in the story were female. These details really showed how the developers tried to break the mold while maintaining a familiar RPG nostalgia feel. Although I did sit back and grind a level here or there out of habit, I never really thought the game needed me to, and I always knew when I overstayed my welcome, as the XP flow cuts off abruptly if you try to gain too many levels in one chapter. Speaking of which, the game features 19 chapters strewn across 3 acts, and it took me just north of 17 hours to complete the game on my first run. And remember, this was a quick and dirty review of SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamech.
And so ends the adventure for our heroes. At least, until next time.